Greetings, travellers. It is me, Dalvanius Freakin, and I am sending you on a quest to find facts about unicorns. Off you go. Facts about unicorns. See you here soon. Don't be late, or the witch will take your soul and your colon. Greetings, travellers, and welcome to Big Fact Hunt, the game where I have tasked my three friends with the task of over 30 minutes trying to find a fact or five on unicorns. So, travellers, how did we go? Did we find my secret fact that I had just thought about after I gave you the task?
I don't understand what you just said, so no.
You can't know. You can't know. You'll never know until you find out if anyone's got the secret fact.
Interesting.
A good conceit. Yeah, I like that.
So let's get started. Let's get crack-a-lacking on. Jen Jewell.
Okay.
Your fact.
So my first amazing fact is that the animal that stands the best chance of catching a unicorn is, as we all could guess, a dwarf mongoose.
Of course.
Obviously. I feel like I don't need to explain that any further, so we'll just let that lie.
All right, Sam.
Yeah. I've got questions.
Explain yourself.
What?
Okay, so the ancient Greek bestiary, known as the physiologus, states that unicorns can only be caught if a virgin turns up in front of it. The unicorn will then throw itself at the virgin's lap, and she can suckle it, i.e. breastfeed it, and take it to the king's palace where he can imprison it, because kings can keep hold of unicorns because they have the divine right to rule. Don't know why they can't catch them, but apparently that's what virgins are for. So, mammals, traditionally, traditionally it's very difficult to find mammals who can lactate without having been pregnant, and therefore virgin lactating mammals. The species of mammals which most frequently exhibits spontaneous lactation is dwarf mongoose.
I'm going to allow this.
I will see your fact and I will raise you another fact. There are species out there that give birth without having sex. There are species like Daphnia. There's lots of animals that
that exhibit parthenogenesis, but very few of them also engage in lactation. Which is a primarily mammalian attribute.
The greatest lactator of them all, Sam Smith.
Oh, I'm so glad I won that prize. Great. Did you know that unicorns take your pain away? So here's a little thing which is very much in my wheelhouse. The German word for unicorn is Einhorn. And Novocaine was invented by Alfred Einhorn. So Novocaine is the numbing agent that people used to inject people with so that they can do dentistry on them. So Novocaine was invented by a unicorn.
Was he a virgin?
I saw a photo of him and he looked pretty manly and rugged. So probably not. I hope he was a virgin, because every time he impregnated someone, it probably would have numbed them up.
And then he just took a tooth.
Injection. I know I'm not so much playing into your hands, Tom, but I thought that was amazing.
On to you, my good friend and second best lactator in the room, Kenny.
Thanks, I think. Did you guys know that unicorns, which we all know are lawful good from our time playing Dungeons and Dragons, can also be used as a potent force against terrorism?
What?
I was in the UK in November of 2019 when someone with a few screws loose went a little bit stabby on London Bridge. And do you guys remember this?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not quite how they talked about it in the news, was it?
Sure
breaking news, someone has gone a bit stabby on London Bridge.
Another outbreak of stabby.
Putting aside the stabbies for 1 second. So what was often traded in medieval times as unicorn horn was narwhal horn. Narwhals being the whales up in the Arctic, which the males have a tooth that grows through very, very long. Looks just like a unicorn horn, all spirally and stuff. On the wall of the Fisherman's Hall, where the event was taking place, where the guy decided that knives would be a good thing to party with, was a narwhal horn, and a South African man, noting the predilections of stabby guy, nicked the narwhal horn off the wall, and chased him onto London Bridge. So a unicorn horn was used as a force for good
Oh my gosh.
and played a potent role in stopping Mr. Stabby Stabby. So
I love that he was a Mr. Man
Unicorn.
as well. Mr. Stabby Stabby.
Yeah. Sam Smith, hit me with another one, my friend.
I'm going to do a technical thing here. There is a town called Corn in the state of Oklahoma, and the nearest university or uni to Corn, Southwestern Oklahoma State University, and you will never believe what their mascot is.
Is it a bear?
It's a bulldog. So unrelated to unicorns. So I stopped going down that path. But then I found out that at the University of California, another university, they have the agronomy. They have the agronomy department, faculty, and then they have a department within that faculty, which is the stay with me, is the it's the grain and silage corn department within the faculty. So that is officially, properly unicorn. And it took me 10 minutes to get there, and it was worth the journey. I will take the points.
You said mine was tenuous.
Oh, Jen, I don't even understand your one. But my one was fully like there's a corn university in California.
My notes for that fact make no sense, make even less sense than the fact itself. Corn, Southwestern Bulldog, Unicorn.
Tom, you've included my wee little side path, and the main fact is that there is a corn university. It's at the University of California, or California, as I would call it if I went there.
Oh, Kitty, please help.
It was not the university fact that I thought you were going for. I'm going to come back to my university fact because I think it's significantly esoteric enough to leave later. But I'm going to go for my slightly more open fact that other people might also say, so I want to get in first. And I'm going to say, we all know that unicorns poop rainbows, right?
Everyone knows.
Obviously.
But did you know that unicorns could also make you poop rainbows? We've all seen over the last few years the unicorn phase. Like you can buy everything in unicorn flavor or sparklies, or whether it's shampoo or pizza or bagels, you name it. A lot of them incorporate edible glitter, but very little of that glitter is actually very good for you. Like, it's non-toxic, but I've been in schoolrooms with glue that's non-toxic, and you certainly wouldn't want to eat that either. What happens is you eat the stuff, and if you're lucky, it just goes through you. And if you're unlucky, it interferes with things on the way and goes through with you faster and brings other things with it. So if you eat enough of this edible glitter, you will literally shit rainbows.
That's great.
I mean, if you eat enough of anything, you'll shit the thing that you...
Yeah, but it's not rainbows.
What does that fact have to do with unicorns?
It's the unicorn glitter. You know, the unicorn glitter that they add to, like...
No, I don't know the unicorn glitter.
You have two boys. If you had a young girl,
I have two girls, and I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Tom's coming to the party, yeah.
Have you not
As
seen
a female-bodied human, my social media was targeted with a ridiculous amount of unicorn toasties and iced drinks, and yeah.
Wow.
But any glitter?
Drink bottles and
Oh,
water
definitely glitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
To be fair, my girls are more into dragons and cats and unicats.
Oh,
But
Unikitty. How did I not research Unikitty?
Pretty...
Still got time, Jen. Still got time.
Jen, give me your fact.
Well,
As a third best spectator.
further to Kenny's fact about narwhals having tusks growing out of their skulls, did you know that unicorns are all pinko lefties?
I can imagine that.
Did.
So this is based on the narwhal fact again. So narwhals can have one, two, or no horns, and they can go up to 3 meters long when they do have horns. So about 0.2% of male narwhals have two horns. So they're all born with two little teeth in their skull, and in the vast majority of male narwhals, the left one grows out and creates a left-handed helical spiral, which is a very cool phrase. But in 0.2% of male narwhals, the right one grows as well. And in about 3% of female narwhals, a small tusk grows as well, which I just think is really, really cool. But yeah, so the vast majority of, all narwhals are lefties. Some of them have a right tusk as well, but they're all predominantly lefty, which I think is very cool.
Good, Jen.
And then I looked into their society, and they live in groups between 5 and 20. And then during summer, when there's the most hunting to be done, they join up into even bigger groups, up to 200 unicorns of the sea.
Whoa.
And the horns can be used to, mating rituals and assert dominance against other males in the group. But there's also a theory that they use the horns as a sensory and communication organ for sharing information about water chemistry, which is sensed in micro channels within the horn.
Wow.
Awful lot of nitrogen in here,
Which
guys.
basically just means they're doing like climate science as they're running around being awesome little unicorns in the water.
Has anyone noticed there's more potassium around here? Oh, give it up, Nige. Give it up.
Yeah, of course, Nige. We've all got the horns, mate.
Kenny, I want a fact from you. I demand a fact. Lord Tom demands.
I'm trying to be tactical here. I am going to go with, do you know the name for a unicorn's foal? The proper noun.
I'm going to say a foal.
Narwhal baby is a calf, so I'm going to go with that.
The term, and I believe this is a technical term, for a unicorn's foal is a sparkle.
I'm going to guess sparkle because I hadn't guessed one yet. My guess is sparkle.
Okay,
Sam gets
Sam
it.
wins.
Right, Sam gets the point.
And they're
Good work.
hermaphrodites. They're hermaphrodites till they grow up. But it must be really hard for the poor unicorn mum coming
Are
out.
they born with the horn?
Oh,
I
That's
assume
what pokes
so.
their way
Otherwise
out.
it just-
They perform their own C-sections. And they're in the
I would
sea.
imagine
They've got
it comes out floppy, and then as they come out, it kind of goes woo.
When they see a sexy narwhal that they like.
Like giraffes. That's how giraffes do. Giraffes with a horn, and then their horn goes up when they after
When
the
they
horn.
get the horn.
Yeah.
Better than the
Terrifying.
giraffe at Wellington Zoo, which had to have a cesarean performed using a chainsaw.
Ooh, did you do that, Tom?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no.
Nice.
I was the one that, they did the incision, and I just kind of reached in and just pulled it out over the
Nice.
shoulder. Just stared at everyone down and walked off and ate it.
And
Ate that.
And then moved up to Uranui.
I don't know. There's a giraffe in my backyard, and I don't know what to feed it. Jennifer Jewell, please.
Me again.
Effect.
Okay, so the unicorn is the symbol of the Scottish Navy, but it's only been to sea once. So the
That's
symbol of the
interesting.
Scottish Navy is the HMS Unicorn, which is one of the 6 oldest surviving ships in existence, which is pretty cool. So it was launched in 1824, which is just after the close of the Napoleonic Wars. But because it was launched in 1824, there wasn't anything for it to do because Britain was at peace. So it literally just went from Chatham in Kent, where it was built, to Dundee, and it's been in Dundee since 1824. But it's the symbol of the Scottish Navy.
I believe I know why that is. It's still looking for a virgin.
In Dundee, so it's going to take a while.
I'm just really happy with it's been there since 1824. Just like, well,
Still no
I just
one.
love that it went to Dundee. It was like, I'm going to go on an adventure. Where are we going? Dundee. Why? Okay.
There's no mongoose. I need a mongoose.
Maybe that's why Dundee has a notable lack of mongoose. Maybe if they just put some in the local zoo, maybe the ship would be able to go to sea again.
Do you know how much work goes into making a boat? Like, it's so much work, and they just went to
And also,
Dundee.
because it's so old, they're also constantly restoring it. When you look up information on it, there's like this plaintive plea where they're like, we need large mature oaks to refurbish this ship that's never gone anywhere or done anything.
Large mature oaks in your area.
Yeah, exactly.
This is completely unrelated to unicorns. But did you
That's
know
nothing.
that
I mean, most of these facts have been, so that's fine.
both the UK and France and some other continental European countries, is the word I'm looking for, have strategic oak reserves. Just like some people have like strategic uranium reserves and strategic
Maple
steel
syrup
reserves.
reserves.
Or
They
making ships.
deliberately grow large oaks in case they ever need to destroy the Spanish Armada again. Because
Amazing.
if you want to build a large boat, it's not like you can go, I'll just go and make an 800-year-old oak appear right now. Thank you. And
Oh, that attitude.
you need to work with what you've got. Yeah.
Is that because they saw the Monty Python sketch, No One Expects the Spanish Inquisition, and then someone didn't know what Inquisition was and thought it was the thing with the boats?
And then they saw the other sketch afterwards,
I think with the boats.
which was like the larch, the fir,
Oh,
Scotch pine.
Sam, fact.
I'm so glad you asked because this is the best fact of the night, without a doubt. So it's about Scotland again. So does everyone know the national emblems of Scotland? Don't tell you because I'm about to say it. Scotland's national emblems are thugs. Thugs. That is thistle, haggis, unicorns, the golden eagle, and St. Andrews. THUGS. Thugs.
nice.
Unicorn is the national animal. The golden eagle is the national bird, even though that's not official. People just say it. Haggis is, of course, haggis. Thistle is, of course, thistle. And St. Andrews is, of course, St. Andrews. Thugs. There's been good wordplay work in there. It took me ages to put that together. I spent most of my time looking it up, so I will take the points and the win. Thank you very much.
So haggis is the national dish, is it? The national food. They didn't go with deep fried pizza or deep fried Mars bar.
They didn't go with
They
iron
had deep fried
brew.
Mars bars just there, like.
Yeah. They call deep fried pizza Pizza Crunch, and it's so good.
Can you deep fry haggis?
Yeah, when
yes,
I
you
was
can.
in Edinburgh for the Fringe one year, they had haggis cake pops and they were deep fried.
Oh, yum.
I mean, I enjoyed haggis. I've had it, and it was good.
I love how much the Scots have done as a country, despite having an expected lifespan of like 30 years. All their elders died in the
Are they all
early
the medieval
40s.
ages?
Yeah.
I think
Were they all-
most of that, block your ears, Jen. I think most of that is the English's fault.
I was going to say, I feel like that was everyone until the early 1900s, and that was mostly England.
The English's fault.
Early 1900?
I mean,
That's a thing though, right? Like the only reason that the life expectancy age was so low back in the day was just because so many people died when they were babies. And then
yeah, it dragged down the average.
if you then lived past being a baby, you'd live to be like 60, 70.
Normal
well, it's something
age.
like if you made it past 5, you had like a 50% chance of living into your 70s.
Yeah.
Like
Great.
it's just that there were lots of kids dying in
Yeah.
infancy.
You're right. Kids are stupid and not good at living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right, Jim. You're right.
Yeah.
Their little floppy necks. Speaking of floppy necks, Jen, can I get a fact?
When do you think the last sighting of a unicorn in the wild was?
Never? I think never because they don't exist.
Is this a rhino-related fact?
For you to interpret.
Um,
But I'm going to need an answer in 5.
I'm going to go for Java rhino
2.
in like 20 years ago.
Okay, 20 years ago, Tom.
I'm going to say yesterday.
You're all wrong. It's either 2019 or 39,000 years ago.
I went over.
London Bridge doesn't count.
I was quite
39
close with never.
39,000 years ago, there existed an animal that is called the Siberian unicorn. It is a kind of rhinoceros, but it diverged from them, I think, 300,000 years ago. But it was still hanging around on the Mongolian Siberian steppes in 39,000 years ago. They thought it had gone extinct 200,000 years ago, and then they found some more recent specimens which showed it was way, way later than we thought it was, which means it was definitely like contemporaneous with proto-humans or humans, and we could definitely like trace back the unicorn myth to that potentially.
Amazing.
But then also in 2019, Stirling Castle's Instagram feed showed a picture of a real live unicorn that they had for National Unicorn Day, which happens every year in Scotland on April the 9th. And it was in their grounds and you could go and pet it, and it looks suspiciously like a pony wearing a Novelty Players Accessories unicorn headband, but if Stirling Castle vouches for it, it's good enough for me.
For animals that like virgins, unicorns aren't very good at it, are they? Like Siberia or Scotland are not where I'd start. Maybe a nunnery in Rome. That's where I'd go first, I think.
Let's
But
go hang out with the Pope. Sam, give me another fact, my friend.
Just casually, unicorns mathematically exist.
Good.
I'll explain. I won't just leave it at that. So in 2013, there was a lady called Eileen Lee who came up with this term for called a unicorn company, which is when you have a company that's privately owned and it is worth over $1 billion. So that's the term unicorn company. In 2013, she came up with this term, and with the idea that a company that is privately owned should never ever have $10 billion. That should never happen. The likelihood of that happening is about as much chance as you seeing a unicorn. That was in 2013, and now, what year is it? 2022. So here we
God
are,
knows.
9 years later, and there are 803 of these companies, meaning that, according to that, there should be 803 unicorns in the world. Proven. Thank you very much.
Well, I found one at Stirling Castle in 2019, so only 802 to go.
My friend Kenny.
So should you want to go hunting for a unicorn, and I won't cast any aspersions on your virginity or lack thereof, the first thing you should do, and this is where the university thing that Sam was talking about earlier, because just up the road from the place that he was talking about unicorn, there's Lake Superior University. And Lake Superior University has cast itself as the only place in the world to issue unicorn hunting licenses. And they will grant you, for a moderate fee, a license that will grant you in perpetuity the right to go and slaughter in any way, shape, or form you feel fit a unicorn for your own consumption. So make sure you get a license before you go shooting unicorns.
It is so aggressively American.
Yeah.
Do you know how much these licenses cost?
No, but I can look it up. You
Please
keep
do.
talking. I will look it up.
I'd hunt a
quite gamey.
unicorn for sure.
Yeah.
It'd
Probably
taste
quite
like horse.
game.
Delicious.
Oh, actually, traditionally it's not. Traditionally, the meat is too bitter to eat.
Too bitter.
Too bitter.
Oh.
Well, it's all the glitter in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They meant glitter, but they miswrote it bitter instead. It is too glitter. You cannot eat. Is too glitter.
It's like my whole thing is like everyone says like wild meat is always like gamey. Like, what does it taste like? It's a bit gamey. It's like everything's gamey. This is just your explanation for a food that you just cannot explain the flavor for. The glitter is like the fantastical version of that. What's dragon taste like? Bit glitter.
Unicorn hunting licenses are free.
Was that
That's a very modest fee.
$333? Because I'll take one.
They're free, but there's all kinds of rules attached. So you're not allowed to go hunting with kids because it's dangerous. You're only allowed one unicorn per month.
So what do you use as bait?
Yeah.
Female unicorns cannot be taken.
That's sexist.
That's real sexist.
So
Someone needs to be cancelled.
apparently they operate a banding and release program, and if you catch a banded unicorn, you're meant to send the band back to the university.
We've got a few time and only a few facts. So now it's going to be rapid fire. Sam, you're going to be great at this. Okay, so Sam, first rapid fact.
Marvel's first domestic movie was about unicorns. So their first movie was the My Little Pony movie from 1986. That was the first Marvel domestically released film, starring friend of the podcast Danny DeVito. It was made by Marvel.
Kenny.
Genghis Khan didn't invade India because he was told not to by a green unicorn.
Legit.
There are multiple.
No, don't elaborate.
sources.
Please don't elaborate.
No, he made the unicorn told him not to invade and said bad things would happen to him, and so he didn't. And there's multiple written and oral sources attesting to that fact.
Jen, my good friend and best lactator. I'm sorry.
So we often think of unicorns as being white. Obviously, the one that turned up and shouted to Genghis Khan was green. But Ctesias, who was the first Greek to write a bestiary which included unicorns, described them as a large, pale, blue-eyed ass with a crimson head and a horn of white, black, and red, found only in India.
That sounds like a really good burn on someone, eh?
You pale, blue-eyed ass.
Don't know in yeah. Well, thank you very much, my good friends. Do we have any last little facts, little tidbits, little morsels? Because no one's got the secret fact yet.
Oh, a group of unicorns is called a blessing.
Oh, that's really cute.
Not if they trample your father.
Is it
Mhm.
that
Like
Henry VIII was an amateur physician and made at least 10 recipes using unicorn horn, one of which also included lead oxide, which is a carcinogen?
It's pretty bad for you.
What was it? The fact that there are South American deities. One is a unicorn, and it's associated. It's a bull, but it's a unicorn with a horn on its head, and that's associated with male fertility. But then corn is associated with female fertility.
Here we go.
So it's where unicorns and corn meet up. Was it that?
Was that?
No. The secret fact, guys, was...
Was it? I've got one more fact. Can I say my
Go for
one
it,
more
Kenny,
fact?
please.
So cups made of unicorn horn
No.
are meant to protect you from poison? No, okay.
Is it that narwhals hunt using their horns, but
No.
rather than
No,
using them
that's
to
a
turn
narwhal.
fish into fish kebabs, they bop them on the head to stun them so that they can catch them easier?
Is it that unicorns don't exist?
Yes. No. It was, is it a unicorn horn and antler? What's a unicorn horn made of?
Keratin, surely.
Well, but that's a rhino. But what
Yeah.
if it's a horn? Horn's made of the bone.
Yeah.
Or if it's an antler, it's made
Ivory,
of something
like
entirely
a
else.
narwhal one.
Well, yeah, we're all over the place, but none of you got it. So I guess that's just going to keep me up at night. Yeah, but that means no one wins. Anyway, all right, so let's have a look at our facts. I'm just going to go, here's my notes. You can see very, very legible. So here we go.
Very good.
Well, I'm going to, I did my favorite
That's your
ones.
takeaway order.
It's a doctor's prescription. Sam, I love the unicorns mathematically exist. That is a very, very good. That is the best reach you've made so far. It's so good. What else we got? Your last facts were all very good. Genghis Khan of the Green Unicorn. I love Genghis Khan and I love green unicorns. Kenny, that was great. And also the stabby unicorn, the stabby narwhal. That's insane. I had no idea. Jen, the ship is. I love that ship till the day I die. I'm going to disqualify. I should disqualify everyone for narwhal-based things because they're not unicorns. But I love you guys, so I'll be nice.
I didn't do
Hunting
any narwhal
unicorns.
facts. You should disqualify them, I reckon.
I should. Hunting for unicorns, that is excellent. But the taker of the day is going to be for me the creature you use to catch a unicorn. Number one, with a bullet, mongoose lactation, because it does. I mean, I'm playing to form here. It is an animal fact, but it's also unicorn fact and bizarre animal fact together. It's very good. So well done, Jen. You do take the number one lactator position for today, and you're also in charge of the big fact hunt next week.
Thank you. It is a
I'll
lesson
wait
in
with-
knowing your audience.
I'll wait with bated breath.
Well, in conclusion, I would just like to say, narwhals swimming in the ocean, causing a commotion because they are so awesome. Watch out next week, bitches.
Oh, wow.
So that was the big fact hunt for this week. If you enjoyed these facts, comment. If you didn't, comment. If you want to put your own unicorn facts in there, also comment. If you don't have a fact about unicorns and you think you know what a unicorn horn is made of, please comment because I will stay up forever on this one. Like and subscribe, follow our Twitters. We'd love to see you there. And until next week, I'm the Big Fact Controller, and you guys are all our Big Fact friends.